Okay, now God made Abraham a promise. I got two images here. Abraham, what he would look like, and this would be the Hebrew, the Gentile, who would be part angels. They would be peoples of the white race, as we say today. Excuse me. Because of such knowledge, they took on, they became mythology. They began to study the solar system because that's where the fathers came from, learning everything about the Earth's rotation pattern. They began to search mythical gods. They was going to refuse Jesus because these, that by the way they were conceived, they would have been low in stature. But what happened was, with the minds of the angels, they were supernatural people who had the intelligence to create craft and everything. These would become the industrialized nations of the earth. God knew that he had to someday come and make war with these here because they was going to create space shells and space stations and go up on the brink of earth. God knew this. So God signified this by creating three individuals to be slain. Jesus Christ was going coming to die for their sin, but with him he was going to bring two witnesses attached on to him. But what he did was, in the land of Abraham, he was going to give him all the crude oil. He was going to bless him with all the crude oil. So when these nations go out and don't serve God, and they create all this crap, by them running out of fuel where on the habitats of their land, the crude oil, what he gonna give to Abraham, become a magnet to draw them back over here into Armageddon to fight with Jesus Christ. So God, Jesus signified this by creating this symbol he gave to Abraham. God created this here. God chose this here statue to show him that what he did, he knew what they was going to do from the beginning. But they went and said it was no God. They tried to create a mythical God, and the Quran leads you from it, and the Book of the Mormon leads you from it, because they don't want the people to know the truth. But God made sure that we all that this was going to happen because he spoke to us concerning symbols. As the symbols of the mixture was upon the ground, he created symbols of beasts of prey walking up on the ground. And when the symbol was going to be taken up, called up to be mixed, he was going to create another symbol to take you up, take them up. This is the reason I draw these symbols as it's spoken of in the back. He used to make it plain on tables where they read it. He would run when they read it. If you speak, read it to read the book of Habakkuk. Now, since my time is limited, Genesis chapter 15, I'm going to start at verse 7. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit it. And he said, Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, Take me an heifer of 3 years old, and a she goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. These are the symbols. These are the symbols. Now, let me stop right here for 1 second. The turtle dove, the ram, these here is the three symbols, the primary symbol. But the turtle dove and the turtle dove and the young pigeon is the same symbol as the heifer and the ram, the first ram, because one of these here was going to be slaved first. And once one be slaved first, because one was going to symbolize John the Baptist, but they're going to believe two yet attached to each other, and after they go to the cross, they had to descend back up to heaven together. So this would be, the pigeon is a messenger. That would be myself, and the helper would also have to be changed into a bullock. This would be myself. The pigeon would be myself, and this would represent myself, which is living by the Spirit of Moses. But John the Baptist would become the she goat. But after John the Baptist he had living by the Spirit of Elijah, within the 3 months, 3 years, within the format of 3 years, Jesus had to be slain with me yet entombed in his body. But what God had to do, did he tell us how these symbols started out to be mixed in order to mix this Gentile and bring him back in the book of life to give him a salvation which he had not. Now, let me go a little bit further here. And verse 10. And he took unto him all these and divided them in the midst, and laid each piece one against the another, but the birds divided he not. He didn't divide the birds, because the birds was going to be, the reason he didn't divide the birds is letting you know the two was going to be in the same body. They was not going to be divided because two was going to be in the same body. That's the symbol of it. But these here three, which was the primary symbol, was going to be mixed together and made part of the exact same sacrifice, which would have been Jesus Christ would be symbolized by the ram, John the Baptist would be by the she-goat, and the heifer would be symbolized me. Now, and when the boughs came down, verse 11 of Genesis 15, boughs came down upon the carcass, Abraham drove them away. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and lo, an horror or great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abraham, I'm going to use the word Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. That means when they come out, he's going to give them that land full of crude oil. But the part was, they was going to serve 400 years in slavery. That's way, once they get mixed, once these change to the criteria of 3 males, these symbols wouldn't show up until after the duration of that 400 years was complete. The symbols here could not come until after the 4 years was complete. God was taking us through stages of Bible prophecy, but he was using this because he knew that this man here was coming into the north part of Africa and the Middle East, and they would, like Alexander the Great, and was going to slay every last one of them men and interbreed in when those people to change the genetic color code to make it look as if Jesus was born a white person. This is the truth. This is the truth. How it was. They knew he was going to do this, and he was going to proclaim Israel was Israel, and God spoke this. St. Matthew, Jesus spoke this in chapter 33. Also, when he said the wheat was growing with the tares, that the enemy came and planted these tares among the wheat. That's what he's talking about. That Alexander the Great came in, tried to interbreed with those daughters of Abraham. You can find it in Maghreb, and try to change the genetic color code from a dark race people to mixed race people. Now, and make it's different. Now, we know where this geographic location, this is located in the Middle East. Iraq and Afghanistan is the prophecy spoken of in Revelation chapter 13. This is Revelation chapter 13. The war with Afghanistan and the war with Iraq this last time, which was initiated by President George W. Bush, not the father, it was the fulfillment of Revelation chapter 13. And I'll get to that when I get there. Now, we want to go to the other side of the flood. This is what I have right here, Genesis 15. Okay, by the she-goat heifer, and the ram being 3 years old, meaning in the format of 3 years old, after the slaying of the first symbol, the other two had to be slain at the same time. This is the same symbol as they had transformed themselves into after they slaved to 2 rams and a bullock. The she-goat became a ram, a second ram. This he-goat was yet a ram, but the heifer became a bullocks,